You boys twins? Nah, we cousins. I love the process of trying to improve and push the media and push myself. And with Mike, it's just somebody who wants to go that extra mile, wants to commit.
Heard the pitch and I was like, oh man, this is like different because this would probably be the most adventurous role that I played thus far.
It was a role that I thought only Michael could do.
The characters that Coog writes come from personal places. There's a lot of inspiration there.
The twin dynamic is an interesting thing. I have a few close friends that are identical twins. I have a few of them in my family. There's a notoriety that identical twins have in their neighborhoods, kind of local celebrities.
Ooh, Smoke, that's you? How you been, boy? Backstory is something that's really important to me. You know, what happened before page 1 of the script.
For Ryan, early on, it was important to distinguish the brothers, because obviously they're both so different on the page. Their characters move in a different way, act in a different way.
A couple friends of mine, Noah and Logan Miller, the Miller brothers, they're from the Bay Area, they're identical twins and they're filmmakers. I'll talk to them to see if they would be creative consultants, on the film. They were able to work with Michael to get into the psychology of who these guys are.
What we kind of understood amongst identical twins, usually one is more dominant in certain areas than the other. So finding out those little details was a lot of fun and very informing on just the process.
Michael really insisted upon having our amazing dialect coach, Beth McGuire, spend a lot of time with him. And for many, many weeks, Michael immersed himself in trying to understand who each of these two brothers are.
Beth helped me with a lot of body movement, the physical. They stood different, they walked different. Smoke, he wore his trauma differently. He kind of closed up a bit.
He's a tough cousin, he's grumpy. It's like, come on, bro, why you don't got a smile on your face? Like, what's it gonna take?
And Stack was a lot lighter, he smiled through his pain. He smiled through his trauma.
He's like the cool cousin you could talk to, you could laugh with, you could joke with. Just easy going overall.
So just getting into all that, work really helped me feel confident and prepared.
I need the shirt and the hat.
For Smoke.
For Smoke.
And then there was the fun of getting into some of the iconography and, the color story between them.
There was a very delicate hand when it came to creating Michael B. Jordan's clothing. Ryan said, I want Smoke to be in blue and Stack to be in red. I'm putting it together so I can send it upstairs, dressed on the mannequin, to Ryan to take a look at Stack, finished. I need the pocket square too. I think they cut me one out of this same stripe. Look how nicely the collar comes together. That looks finished.
Stack really cared about, all of the things, the money, the jewels, his suit was all, tailored, the hat, and he was just always dressed to the nines.
It makes sense. The passion that Stack has, he runs hot, and so red is appropriate.
Stack has this very red hat, and Ryan saw that hat. He just was sold. I feel like this is gonna be the right fabric, and this is gonna be the right color.
We kind of shared this idea of Smoke probably didn't care about his appearance as much.
You're gonna make Smoke a little bit more rugged, a little less self-conscious than Stack. The gray has a blue tint to it, and the accessories are blue. The lining is blue, so we get the blue story without being so literal. I knew we had landed enough of the red and blue story with Smoke and Stack. It could be very subtle with their clothing, and the red and the blue hat did kind of create a signature for them.
For Mike's haircut, there are so many steps that we have to take to make sure that we keep up with continuity for the both of them, because you don't have time to create one look and then another look within a matter of minutes. So everything was very strategic about the steps, the process, what the looks look like. And Michael is such a phenomenal actor that he knows what to do to make sure you know the difference between the two.
He went through a full-on process for this look. He has this beautiful head of thick, coily hair, but we needed to break it down so we can have that sleek look from the past. We don't want it to look like a fade. It just needs to look like it's just been completely shaved down and slicked back. Ta-da. Ryan walked through the door and he was like, oh yeah, that's it.
Smoke and Stack are very different. Mike has a slight indentation in his moustache on this side. I fill it for Stack, I leave it for Smoke. I fill his eyebrows. I do one side less for Smoke than Stack, so I give him more structure for Stack. I very subtly emphasize his jawline a little more, I make it stronger. And with Smoke, I soften him and I make the colors not quite as intense.
Today gonna be a day, so we're gonna have a lot of changes, a lot of progression of looks, a lot of blood. And then I turn the Stack, and then we'll do it all over again.
You know, we've seen doubles movies before. There's new technology around now, so it was important to research what kind of avenues were available to us, and that means meetings with VFX.
Ready? Let's go.
I got a phone call out of nowhere, and Ryan was on the other end of the line. He said, bro, I'm shooting a horror film, and Michael B. Jordan is in it twice.
So key to the pre-production process was understanding Ryan's vision for how Smoke and Stack would appear on screen together, and then looking at the best, most effective way to execute those visual effects.
Creating Smoke and Stack was something that involved VFX partners from all over the world. Wild Rabbit out of Los Angeles, the company Storm out of Oslo in Norway, and Rising Sun Pictures in Australia. They really are some of the best in the business.
There are so many various ways to kind of shoot doubles.
You can shoot Michael twice, or we're now in a world where you can employ a machine learning based approach and basically recreate a CG head of Michael and put him onto somebody else's body.
We had all sorts of technology, motion control rigs and split screens and things of that nature. But we also had this beautiful body double named Percy Bell who did this incredible job.
We are right now shooting an intense fight scene.
Hey man, Percy, that's Percy. In case y'all didn't know, that's Percy.
The technical aspect of shooting and figuring out how we're gonna get things done. I was like, damn, it's my first time making a movie, because like I was learning a different technical element to it.
Machine learning needs to understand the face of the body double, because our body double laughing can look completely different to Michael laughing. So we need to film the body double and Michael, the source and the target, going through as many different facial performance and expressions as possible.
We had to make sure that we were capturing a fully comprehensive data set of Michael B. Jordan's face. So we employed a bespoke custom facial capture rig that we dubbed the Halo rig.
James and I were out for dinner, and all of this started as a napkin sketch. I was like, hey, how about a camera rig that they strap on?
The Halo rig itself is a carbon fiber ring mounted on actors' shoulders. Contains 10 action cameras positioned so we get a full 360 capture of the performers' faces, all of their emotion, all of their facial detail, and all of that information helps us create a really accurate and true-to-life recreation in the scenes. Fundamental to the Halo rig is that it's mobile. So after we'd filmed principal plates for a twinning shot,
Second team in.
We could fly it straight in, put it on Michael B. Jordan's shoulders, and he would then be able to repeat the performance against one of his stand-ins or body doubles and a B-side to that take.
Oh, shit. I had it all worked out and you going to kill Andy. What the hell's wrong with you, man?
We'd collect the footage from the 10 cameras and feed it to the guys in Australia. They gave them high quality data from a variety of different angles.
That information informed the digital recreation of Michael's face that could then be applied to his body double when we do digital face replacements.
Fantastic. Cut. Thank you.
Oh, this shit don't get old.
Hey, did you get this?
Yeah, of course you did.
It was a great experiment to see if we could pull it off technically, but the technical can only capture what's coming from the actor. To see if Michael could beat these two guys in the same day, 40, 50 times, you know what I mean?
We were just figuring out the process. Okay, which twin goes first? Which brother is driving the scene? Because where one brother goes, when I flip to the other side, I can't walk in that space. So I have to create new blocking.
It's tough to sort of break up momentum like that, but his stamina is incredible. and his ability to maintain consistency just blew my mind.
I do have to say, Michael brought a physicality to it that I don't think anyone was expecting.
His energy was so different. It was so nuanced and fine-tuned. I could tell with my back turned who was walking onto the set, if it was Stack or Smoke. I didn't even have to look.
He really made it easy to vibe off of the different twins and their different personalities.
These performances from Michael are so much different from anything else that I've seen him do before.
Coog pushed me a lot throughout this process, and he had a great team around him and people that he brought on board to help us through that process. This is our 5th movie together. That dynamic leads to some of my best work.